Hey, Keith Myers here from Susky Air Squadron. Just wanted to share another video today. We're going to concentrate on law enforcement officers in Pennsylvania, local, state, a little bit about the PA National Guard and the Air National Guard, and just try to see where they're at on this position. There's a lot of things that are going on here, and I've created an organization, Susky Air Squadron, that is kind of geared towards people paying attention to what's going on in the sky, the air quality, what's happening here. In no way am I trying to have any kind of stolen valor or anything like that. I was never in the military, never claimed to be. I'm using the Susquehannock Indians because they represent us right now. We're in a battle for basically our lives. There's a lot of bad things going on here. And the National Guard, actually back in the day, they were formed part by Ben Franklin and the Associators. And the Paxton boys actually helped wipe these Susquehannock Indians out, along with some other bad actors, while people just kind of stood around and did nothing. So we're doing something here, and I want you just to be aware that these things are going on and they're continuing. And I wish that I didn't have to be here today to show you what's going on. So let's get right to the slides and see what's happening. Again, we're based out of Lebanon, PA, and right next to Fort Indian Town Gap, and watching things that are happening here around the mid-state and also Harrisburg, and actually, the whole state, the whole Commonwealth. So we got a new documentary coming out, and we're raising some money to get some monitoring equipment and some gear. But I'm here today, proving beyond a reasonable doubt that chemtrails are being sprayed across Pennsylvania. We want to call them stratospheric aerosol injections. I'm just comfortable with this terminology because it seems like 1 in 5 people around the nation, would know what this term is. And because I pointed this out to the Department of Environmental Protection here, they erased all of the data that was pertinent. So I basically put together a big ass data dump, and you guys are welcome to look into it. Peruse the documents, download them. There's probably about 17,000 documents, studies that I did that are highlighted. I've spent thousands of hours since December of last year putting this all together, and finally it's time to release everything. So it's free. I mean, I'm putting these links up that you guys can go and look, and not only here in Pennsylvania, but around the world, because it's happening everywhere. And again, chemtrails versus stratospheric aerosol injections, it's definitely happening. And I've proven in my other videos beyond a shadow of a doubt what's happening here. So let's see what's going on here in 2023 and 2024 as I was taking pictures here. Over Hershey, Harrisburg, Hummelstown, Middletown, right where the 193rd is based, and some other things there in Harrisburg, right over the Med Center. We got some things cooking here. And then, you can see the lines and how things are laid out here. Now, if I know a lot of people aren't paying attention to what's going on because they're busy with their lives and they're trying to make ends meet right now. But this is going on, and I'm just drawing attention to it. This is over Fort Indian Town Gap, which is a military base in Lebanon County, and that base is the Lebanon's largest employer, and they get about $96 million a year from the federal government. I've talked to people at the National Guard, and they kind of want to just not talk about it. And they've worked with the DEP in some facets, but I'm trying to break through the top brass here and see if Schindler will get me on his list to talk about it. I'm right here. I mean, you can disprove me on any of my points or any of the data information. I'm happy to stand down and just shut up about the whole thing, but you can't. So let's talk about it. So today we're going to do an open letter to the Guard, the Air National Guard, the state police, and PA local law enforcement, because what's happening is these particulates and this electromagnetic radiation doesn't know the difference between you or a regular citizen. So you're sucking in all these particulates, and so is your family, so is your dog, so is your cat, so is everybody in your household. And then on top of it, you're getting doses of some kind of electromagnetic radiation that's going on. And let's see what the White House has to say about it. Yeah, we're doing this kind of thing, but we're really not going to do it. But here's how we would do it if we were going to do it, and spraying sulfuric acid out of the sky, just like Mount Pinatubo back in 90 something. Yeah, so this is all great ideas, and then they show you what planes are going to use and how many tons of particulates that they can jam in there. Now, what are in these particulates? Who knows? Now, we know that the government and the Air Force here, this is a document from 96 saying this is their objective for 2025. Weather is being weaponized, and it has been for a long time, including Vietnam, at least since then till now. So look right here, we got to need to do this, and then we're going to look this up, and then we're going to deploy some planes or rockets or whatever we're doing, and we're going to cause this to whoever our enemy might be. So does that include domestic people, our own citizens across the nation? Is some entity or team of entities spraying particulates in Pennsylvania? Absolutely. I can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. And if you'd like to talk to me about it or have me on a show or a podcast, whatever, I'm freely talk about it. I don't care anymore because something needs to be said. So let's go back and check out these stranger things across the Commonwealth last year that I was tracking. And it's not just in one area. We're talking about Montoursville to Kittanning. That's, up north. We got Hershey and New Garden. That's down in the south, east to west. Allentown, New Milford. And these are only just a few places that stuff's going on. So this event, all took place across these different dates. And the amount of data that was deleted, because I went to the DEP. I went to talk to them, see something, say something. And I saw something and I said something, and they couldn't explain these high levels of electromagnetic radiation along with particulates missing and everything else like that. Please, I don't want to be redundant, so check out my other videos. So I'm talking about law enforcement officers and PA National Guard and any Air Guard. What oaths have you taken? I mean, seriously, is this something that you're just turning a blind eye to? Is it to protect the citizens of the United States and PA, or whatever's left of the Constitution to uphold it, preserve law and order, take action against foreign or domestic threats? Because right now we're faced on a domestic threat, and Pennsylvania has legislation in place for this kind of thing. And I did another episode regarding pilots, planes, and airports that you guys can check out too. But in a nutshell, we have laws here, and people are not following the law, and people are getting injured. We've got higher rates of all kinds of stuff occurring across the state, and it's a direct correlation. These people doing this kind of stuff, they're guilty of a lot of stuff, and you're going to be found out. People are already helping us track, who is doing this kind of thing, flying around with your transponders off. And what's most concerning is they're doing it right over top of Fort Indian Town Gap. I have lots of pictures of this happening. So they give these people permission to invade their airspace to do this. I mean, you and your loved ones are being exposed to particulates and electromagnetic radiation across the state. There's no way you can convince me otherwise. And this is what it comes in. All these local spots that are collecting this data for your supposed safety, they're trying to hide nefarious actions. And this is where local, law enforcement comes in, because I've spoken to a lot of them, and they're very concerned about this. The Pennsylvania has an ambient air monitoring network, and this is where I got all my data from. I'm not like making data up and pulling it out of my ass. It's all right there, And so in Hershey right here, this is the typical kind of box that, they're placed all around the state. Now, these collect all this information and shoot it back to the DEP. And then out of all these places right here, so it's not just, Hershey and Dauphin County, it's all over, and I found so much deleted data at all these places across the state, and it's very concerning. So look, just to hear, as I was showing you before, we got Hershey and we got New Garden Airport, which is near Philly. We got Hershey in the mid-state. But it's not only that. It's Allentown, Altoona, Beaver Falls, Brighton Township, Carlisle, Chester, Farrell, Florence. There's a lot of these sites here: Kutztown, Lancaster, Lebanon, Montoursville, and there's other ones that are cut off here. But this is happening all over the place. And what I found was this was deleted, missing solar radiation data, missing surface ozone, which is very bad for you. O3, you can't breathe, missing sulfur dioxide data, which is indicative of sulfuric acid being sprayed into the atmosphere with, stratospheric aerosol injections. You got particulate data missing, and when these things start coinciding together, it's very telltale that bad things have happened, even if they've deleted it. I can see these things without even having a picture, but people are putting these pictures together around, what they're doing. And these are all indicative of deletion or tampering with official Commonwealth data. Somebody at the state level is deleting this. And I went to the state and I told them about it. And I was concerned with other data, and that all got wiped out. So look at my other videos. How can I make this up? There's no way that it is possible that my mind is completely blown. This is so surreal. So ask yourself, why would such data be deleted by the DEP if it was harmless or insignificant? This is what's happened to us right now as residents and, future Susquehannocks. We're like being wiped out. Okay. High levels of unknown particulates, high levels of harmful surface ozone, high levels of open air electromagnetic radiation, corruption, manipulation of data. It's unlegislated, non-consensual research. Have any of you consented to this kind of stuff? So who's flying the planes and releasing the particulates? Who's deleting and changing the data? And who's using the electromagnetic radiation in conjunction with the particulates? Because there's a correlation of when these things are happening. Who's in charge of the programs if it isn't terrorism? I mean, really, who's conspiring at the local, state, and federal levels to make this happen? Who's in charge of the EMR devices in coordination with everything else that's going on? So this is the problem: is the people that are complicit and knowingly complicit in this. You're all going to hell. You should absolutely go to hell, and you're guilty of treason, crimes against humanity, Nuremberg Code violations. You're injuring your own family, your children, animals, everything, unless maybe somebody gave you money to put up a Faraday cage or line your house in lead or make an oxygen generator for your house to combat high levels of ozone, or HEPA filters of some sort, for clearing out particulates in your house, a very, very small. These things are getting into your lungs, in your water, into everything. Okay. So I've talked to some entities about this. I've talked to members of the PA National Guard. I've talked to a congressman here in Lebanon that seems to be for the people, and I'm not going to say his name, but his constituents include the Fort Indiantown Gap area. And I've left multiple documents with his associates, and I haven't talked to him directly. I've known him for some years, but he doesn't want to talk about it. So I'm talking about it, and I hope you will too. So you guys need to get on the right side of this because it's affecting all of us, and time is running out. We're all going to be, suffering ill effects from aluminum, barium, strontium. Whoever knows what's going on, what they're spraying out here. Now, these people here, I did another kind of episode on what's happening with our skies and who's watching out for everything, because you really can't help but not notice what's going on here. And these people are looking towards the sky every day, and they're working with the DEP on certain things like space weather. And they've been the people that I talked to presented some of the stuff to the DEP that I asked them about, and their response was, "Oh, we have some faulty sensors and things like that." That's all complete BS, and I proved that in another episode. So please, if you want to visit our site here, we're going to get some more monitoring equipment so we can finish up our documentary. Shoot me an email. If you guys want to talk to me, please. PSP. The National Guard, the Air National Guard, any of you people, local people, because what's happening is that these sites are local, okay, like in Hershey and other spots. And what's going on here is the fact that somebody from the state is deleting these local things in your neighborhood. So they're not watching out for you. Local and law enforcement should be looking into this, because it's like if they came into your town that you have jurisdiction over, certain locations, and these boxes that are located, these stations across the way that are supposedly put in place, for your protection, are just being manipulated. So they don't even care. They don't even care what's going on, because they don't want you to know about it. But that information, technically is yours. I mean, it's coming from your areas, from Allentown to Pittsburgh and all points in between. So I'm really concerned about this. So start talking about it, and let's all start doing something about it. Watch my other videos, and if you disagree, I'm happy to hear anything. Please, if you do, if you're a scientist, or if you're a medical expert, if you're a law enforcement agency, I'm not saying everybody's bad, and you people don't know what's going on. I just recently found out in the last 6 months, but I'm not taking it lying down. So thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great day.